Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. Or it's weird for me. I think the last time I've done a video, Saturday night, was when I did a video. I'll leave the link below so you guys watch it. Either afterwards if you have enough time or at some point in time. It's me. And the video I did, the last time I did a video Saturday night, was when I was talking about the abuse. Speaking of abuse, I'll be touching on that in a few seconds. The abuse that was initiated by Manchester United fans to that of the former Manchester United player Odonigal. In June, if you can remember, Odonigal was getting a lot of hatred and criticism, not only on social media, but on his Instagram. That's why if you go on his Instagram page right now, or his Instagram account, he turned off the comments because he's been getting a he did again. I'm going to leave the link to the video that I've done so you guys watch it. He basically people were basically catapulting. See, I mess up with my English this afternoon, but basically persons were pushing hatred against his way because they thought he wasn't a good player for Manchester United. They thought he shouldn't even be at Manchester United to begin with, and they were basically levying a lot of destructive criticisms to that of Igalo. Now, this video podcast is going to be a hybrid of Manchester United's match reaction to Arsenal's game today. I didn't do a preview yesterday. I wanted to, but I just didn't feel like doing it, despite it being a seasoned rivalry match, because it's a rivalry match. And also, I'll be speaking on Anthony Martial, and speaking of today, Marcus Rashford got racial abuse online. So I'll be speaking on those topics. But first, let us go into the match reaction. Now, Arsenal against Manchester United has always been a game to look forward to. You could basically say that the rivalry of Manchester United and Arsenal is like a first cousin to that of Manchester United and Liverpool. Like, if you're talking about big clashes in the Premier League, you're talking about big guns like Arsenal. Speaking of the Gunners, back in the day, of course, not in recent times, but back in the day, Arsenal used to be like they have the Clippers, the Gunners, and Manchester United basically they had the Ballers, and both of them used to like go for the Premier League title. They used to be against Arsene Wenger, against Sir Alex Ferguson. That was the name of the game back then. The game has gotten soft. Is because it used to be Roy Keane against Patrick Vieira. Of course, Sir Alex Ferguson against Arsene Wenger. Thierry Henry against Ruud van Nistelrooy. Yeah, pretty much. But the rivalry doesn't have the same fire. It doesn't burn as hot. Or RIP English. It doesn't burn as hot as back then. Hold on. The rivalry match is really like a common game in the Premier League. It's not really something we would look up for as back then. Right now, Manchester United is in a good place. Now, given Thursday's match against Sheffield United, it was Wednesday's match. Wednesday's match wasn't Wednesday's match. We should have beaten Sheffield United, but that didn't happen. So with that, the game is gone right now. We drop points. We dropped 3 points. Manchester United is in second place right now. I think we are either in third place or second place. Let us not throw our eyes off the prize. That is that's first place. We're in a place right now where we can win the Premier League. Let us not be bewildered by recent results. Like, for example, losing to Sheffield United, and Arsenal. Let us stay united as Manchester United fans and supporters and players. Because we haven't been on top of the league like this for a long time. You see me? So to just allow that to dismantle our mood, we shouldn't be doing that. So this is my match reaction for the Arsenal game. Arsenal, hold on. Arsenal, they hosted Manchester United. They hosted Manchester United, and of course, Arsenal is not in a good place as relates to uh top four or for sure top six. No, I think they're actually near top six because in pass out Southampton. If they beat us today, they could have probably passed out Chelsea, and Chelsea is like in ninth place. So yeah, they could go places if they actually won against us. But see, the thing is that Arsenal doesn't have the best. Arsenal have been like piss poor this season. So basically, we should have beaten Arsenal today. But we actually made Arsenal look good or better than they actually are. Because we gave them a lot of space. I could swear for sure. I thought I saw Nicolas Pip. I thought I saw a 2012 Lionel Messi on the right. Because Nicolas Pepe was having man on toes a few times. There were a few times he could have actually scored. And fortunately for us, he's not a good scorer. So that's why we weren't behind. I'm speaking from the perspective of Arsenal. So that I can beam or spoke into being Manchester United's weakness against Arsenal. From the perspective of Arsenal, Martinelli played a pass to Lacazette. If Lacazette had probably about 6 toes, that would have scored, or even make any contact to that, he could have scored. Martinelli just came back from injury, and he had man on toes on the left hand side. And that wasn't a good sight if you were a Manchester United fan, because of course we expected our defense to be uptight. Luke Shaw had a very good game. I think I would say he was my man of the match. But I'm not going to really go into the ratings, of course, because I don't ratings here. But in terms of the individuals in defense, Harry Maguire, I don't think he was bad, but there were a few instances where Harry Maguire could have actually, I think he actually made a tackle on Lacazette, and it was like whiskers away from getting a penalty. Is me. Whiskers away from Arsenal getting a penalty. Of course, Aubameyang didn't play. He didn't play. And if he actually played, then United would have been in trouble, because United had chances. Okay, let me speak from the perspective of Manchester United, because it's a Manchester United fan, prompted by a Manchester United fan. We had chances up top. Rashford had chances up top. Bruno Fernandes had chances up top. Cavani was frustrated up top. When Martial, no, hold on, I ain't go get into Martial as yet, but Rashford had a chance that he could have just put to bed. But instead, my man wanted to be like a Barcelona Neymar, beating the player, beating the goalkeeper, and then tucking it home. Bro, they cannot be doing that. Arsenal probably has the best defense, one of the best defense in the league. Although they're not scoring goals to show for it, they have one of the best defense in the league. That should have been a chance that you should have taken. I don't know if you had a breakfast late, bro, or you had a big stomach, but that's a chance you should have finished. You see me? That was. I'm not saying it's like a Bakayoko 2010 World Cup chance that you missed, but that's a chance. Nevertheless, you should have scored. And it cost Manchester United. Now I'm not driving my anger, because I don't have any anger. I would say I'm just agitated basically. I'm basically surprised because we were given chances to score. We were given chances to score. Arsenal definitely were given chances to score. And fortunately for them, fortunately for us, they don't have a very world class finisher. Is me. So we were fortuitous at the end of the day. Now in terms of points, not so much because we dropped 2 points. We dropped points so that we're like in second place right now or third place. That is not good form if we want to win the title. I read something on Twitter that said that Manchester United has been very unsuccessful when it comes down to top six sides. Now I wouldn't consider Arsenal a top six side, but given that they have history and bread, I would say okay since they have a history, but even then, if you look at Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, it's just bare draws, bro. If I didn't know better, I would think that Louis Van Gaal was still in charge of Manchester United, and Louis Van Gaal turn up the game, turn up a notch. He turned up the stove a bit heater, a bit better when it came down to the top four, because they actually won against top four sides. But me seeing these draws, bro, if I didn't know any better, I would think it was Louis Van Gaal still in charge. That is not top. That is not a champions, although we're not champions. But if you want to be champions, if you want to aspire to be champions, bro, that's not good champions form. I'm just informing that about. I'm just going to inform that to you because our mentality has to be questioned. If you want to be a champion side, my English is kind of bumming me out this evening, but I must speak anyway. If you want to be a champion, or this should be our question. What is our mentality like when we're going away to top quote unquote top four sides? Although there are some top four sides that aren't in the top four. What is our mentality like? What is our approach? What is our game plan? What is our objective? What is our expectation? To get a point, you think that's the MO of a champion? Cause believe it or not, bro, this is what you guys need to understand. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Manchester United, in our favor, we're still in the title race. I think Leicester lost. No, they drew against Everton Wednesday or Thursday. I think I was Thursday. But still, they have a chance to actually go on top of the league. Okay, Marcus Rashford just released a comment. Actually, it's a tweet on Twitter. This is what he said. Humanity and social media at its worst. Yes, I'm a black man and I live every day proud that I am. No one comment is going to make me feel any different. So sorry if you were looking for a strong reaction. You're just simply not going to get it here. And he has the emoji like fist bump. I'm not sharing. He did a thread. I'm not sharing screenshots. It would be irresponsible to do so, and as you can imagine, there is nothing original in them. I have beautiful children of all colors following me, and they don't need to read it. Beautiful colors that should only be celebrated. In nicer news, Arsenal, thank you for he tagged Arsenal. Thank you for the match day program. Really lovely touch that was appreciated. Although I would have felt better if we had taken 3 points. So this is the thing. I'm going to be doing an admonishment to some, not most of you guys, not all of you, definitely not all of you guys, because that would include me, and I'm not in that census as far as I'm concerned. But it concerns me that some of you Manchester United fans, more specifically you racial Manchester United fans, are getting on Manchester United players. You were on Igalo in June of last year. You were on, I think it was no, I wouldn't say Fred. Some of them Yeah, some Manchester United fans were actually accusing Jesse Lingard for poor form. Yes, we can accuse him for poor form, but if you're taking it to a different level, that you're racially abusing the dude, then dude, I can't rock with you like that, bro. I cannot rock with you like that. I can't. Hold on. I can't rock with you like that, bro. For the simple purpose is because not only because I'm a black man, but if you're racially abusing not just black men, white, Caucasian, Asian, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, I can't rock with you, bro. Cause I'm anti-racist. So if you're putting your comments to players that are not performing, criticize them constructively and objectively on their performance. Don't take don't don't racially abuse the player. If you don't like the player, then don't comment on the player. Don't comment on the player if you don't like the player, cause that go make you look stupid. Why are you trying to get a reaction from a player that you don't like? I mean that's why you have trolls, and I've done some trolling. I'm like a troll at nature, but I can put my trolling in check a few times. If you're trying to like abuse players, bro, what does that say about your character? Hmm? I hear crickets. What is that saying about your personality, your moral character, and integrity? What is that saying about you as a person? You don't have any life. You don't have any purpose. You don't have any wife. So you don't have anybody to give you no lovely company. You have nothing better to do. No one loves you. You live by your own. And you're jacking off. I will be very disappointed if seasoned veteran fans that has been supporting Manchester United since probably the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. I would be surprised if Manchester United fans that racially abused Rashford and Martial were in this clutch, were in this ilk of old seasoned supporters. I'll be very disappointed. Because my thing is this, bro. My thing is this, and it's a strong subjective opinion. Most of the majority of racial abuse coming from Manchester United fans are millennial fans. That's my strong opinion. I don't see a motivation or ulterior motive for all old heads in the Manchester United supporting game to negatively support Manchester United by spitting racial comments to them. That doesn't make no sense. Cause they have a life to live. You don't. By the way, I went on Instagram. I think it was last night, and I saw this post by Sports Bible. I follow. I usually follow Sports Bible on Facebook and on Instagram, and they basically said that Anthony Martial was getting racial abuse again. Martial was getting racial abuse because when I read, I think he deleted his latest post because his latest post, if you check right now at this moment in time on Instagram, his latest post was in October of 2020. And we're not in 2020 or in October of 2020. That's like 3 or 4 months ago. So, but if you read in the comments, you can see apes, you can see snakes, you can see basically racial comments. But the one that was portrayed by Sports Bible on Instagram in their post, they said, if you seek, again, I'm not going to say the name, if you seek your husband, if you seek your husband, if you seek your husband. Now, I can't speak for everybody because opinions is opinions, and my opinion has no dominion over your opinion. But I'll just say this, bro. That is not a racial comment. No, is it a destructive criticism? Is it hatred? Is it jealousy? That could be debated. But that's not a racial comment. That's not a racial comment. Now am I endorsing that type of behavior? No, I'm not. But that type of comment, if you CK your husband, that ain't no racial comment. That's no racial comment. If I say that to a white guy, how is that racial? If that white guy is saying that to me, now some black knuckleheads will take that as racism. That's not racism. Is it an insult? Yeah, but that's not a racial comment. And it basically got out of hand because Anthony Martial's wife. I'm gonna say this. Let me get this out of the way. If you guys think that Anthony Martial care about your racial comments, Martial has a baby at home, right? He has a baby. Two types of baby as far as I'm concerned. Rock my baby and his boo. Why would he think about you? Why would he think about your comments? He's not going to make pleasure to your comments. He's not going to give attention and validation and approval to your comments when he has this dime on his sideline and he plays as a striker, particularly as a number 9 for Manchester United. But why would he care about you? Why would he care about your comments? And it's the same thing with Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba got racial comments from Manchester United fans. And I'll be very surprised if some of those comments, if any of those comments come from seasoned veteran type of Manchester United fans, like fans from the 90s and 80s. I believe that most of those comments are from millennial fans, like mid 2000s, definitely late 2000s, and in the 2010s. I can bet that most of those comments came from that demographic of Manchester United fans. In the 2010s, in the era of the mid 2000s maybe, and definitely late 2000s. For sure, 2010s era. I'm just very disappointed by some of Manchester United. Dude, leave the racial abuse for Chelsea fans. That's what they do to their players. This is me. Leave that for Chelsea supporters. We Manchester United supposed to not only be a class club on the pitch, but we should be class on and off the pitch. You see me? So I don't see why Manchester United fans, my fellow Manchester United fans and supporters, is issuing and levying destructive criticism to players. Why are you doing that? If they didn't perform very well, say that say that they didn't perform very well. No, Marcel has been very lackadaisical, lethargic, and lazy as of late. He hasn't been the player he has been last season. It's just day and night. Not the same player. No, whether it created competition anxiety for Marcel because Cavani is here, although Igalo is gone, but still, is Marcel a player that will crumble under pressure as relates to like starting? Is he a player that crumbles under pressure if there's a seasoned striker like Cavani? You think he'll fail to impress? Or he'll just step up his game a notch and just score goals out of the yin-yang? This is the reality. Because I have a few other things to mention. Manchester United didn't play well against Arsenal. That's number one. We dropped points, crucial points, that could have put us back up top. My English is so bad. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said here that we didn't take 2 huge chances. I'm pretty sure one of them was taken by Rashford. I'm pretty sure that because Rashford had the goal in his sight. I would think he would have probably finished it one time. But he said, one more time, I'm going to pull the ball back, do a fainting tricks in the box so I can probably get a penalty. But that wasn't the reality. That there was not only a goal, but the tension in which he could have scored was gone when he passed it to, I think, another player. Fred got chances. Actually, Fred did a decent shot. I thought it was going to dip in, but it didn't. I'm going to get back on that how I should say no, that racial piece, but I'm going to go in a few, because Roy Keane says here, this is what Roy Keane said, and when Roy Keane talk, you have to listen, because he's arguably Manchester United's best captain. Give me a second. You could have done better, bro, because Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal was anticipating of getting 3 points against. Excuse me. I don't think I'm anticipating. Excuse me. Talk about a double whammy. I don't think they were anticipating 3 points, if you ask me. Although I'm a Manchester United fan, but this is what Roy Keane has to say about the game. Frightened Manchester United lack belief to compete for title. What have I been saying for the past 2 to 3 video podcasts of me questioning Manchester United's mentality and their mental state as it relates to getting top to winning the league? Haven't I been saying that? Because basically Roy Keane is basically saying he's accusing his old club for being frightened of challenging. And I mean, even if they're frightened, because again, we haven't won the league since Sir Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United. That's like since 2013. So it's that nature of competing for for champion spot is probably juiced out of our system. Because we have a different system, we have different players, and we have different, of course, we have a different manager. So maybe the players don't know what it's like winning the Premier League. David De Gea knows what it's like winning the Premier League because he was our Premier League goalkeeper when he won the Premier League last time. And if I was to mention his name, although his name hasn't been in the books as relates to who's starting, for Manchester United, I would say Phil Jones, but Phil Jones doesn't have a winning mentality. If that was the case, he would have been a top player. So with that being said, as relates to Kino's comment, he thought that United was timid in their approach to Arsenal. Is me. We could have won at Arsenal. We had chances again. But still, bro. Still. See, Marcus Rashford receives racial abuse following draw with... Dude, why are you racially abusing Rashford? Did Rashford have sex with your mother? Did he have sex with your sister? I'm sure he didn't rape your grandmother. So are you racially abusing Rashford? There must have been some ego investment involved for you to actually be levying such criticism against Rashford. I'm pretty sure Rashford don't even care how you look, how you are, or how you live. If you're criticizing his performance, criticize him on the performance. Whether it's from your opinion, being a subjective opinion, an objective opinion, or a constructive opinion. Like basically saying, bro, you could have done better. We didn't like how you play. But I'm all for you in the next game, so that you can gain experience. So you know what you can do in the essence of this aspect of the game is me. That's something like that. But if you're racially abusing him, bro, then that's on you. That says something about up here, so it's me. Right now, okay, there's different types of criticism. I've said this before. There's constructive criticism subjective criticism, objective criticism, and destructive I think I mentioned that before, but I'm gonna say it again. Destructive criticism. I'm going to give a brief overview of those four kind of criticism. The first one, subjective criticism. Basically, when you're criticizing a player, you're criticizing the player from your point of view. You see me? From your standpoint, from your how you view things. You're narrow-minded when you're criticizing a player. So let us say Rashford had a 6, and I'm spitballing. I could have said another player, but since Rashford is the main man of the topic right now, I'm gonna use him. Let us say that Rashford had a 6 out of 10 performance, right? Let us say on one hand, some say, Rashford didn't do too well, but I think he played, he was crucial in some points of the game. But you think he could have done better, right? But let us say, from your point of view, you're saying, nah, Rashford was poor. Rashford was just. This is one of the poorest games I've seen Rashford play in a Manchester United shirt. Is me? He played poorer than Bebe was playing for Manchester United in 2008. Is me? That is a subjective opinion. Because it's not either right or wrong, that is just your opinion. Which means that someone can disagree with your opinion. Because it's subjective. Objective opinion is when you're open-minded. And again, I don't think I'll be getting this correctly because I'm not a thesaurus or a dictionary. But I'll just say the basics and okay. I'll say this. Let's say Martial, because Martial has been another player that's been racially abused. Let's say that some persons are saying that Martial is lazy. Some persons say that Martial is not lazy. He's just who he is, whatever that is. But let us say, you know what, there are times Martial has been lazy. And there are times Martial has not been lazy, but his performance has not been up to par. That is something we all can agree with. It doesn't take Stevie Wonder to not see how poor Martial is. Even he can see that Martial has been poor this season. You see me? So, if he can see that, of course we can see that. So, if you're speaking from an objective standpoint, you're saying, okay, there are times Martial has been lazy, and there are times Martial has not been lazy. And seeing this season, he's not been playing as well. In the last game, he has been poor. I'm pretty sure everybody would agree that Martial has been poor. Now, I saw some coon this morning saying, well, Martial against Sheffield United was Manchester United's best player. Because if you see through these clips, he performed passes, he created chances, but he just didn't score. Actually, he scored a goal, but it was not given. Bro, if Marcel was the best player on the pitch, I don't know what the poorest player on the pitch was, because Marcel was not the best player on the pitch Wednesday. He was not. Against Sheffield United, he was not. Because best believe, if Marcel was the best player on the pitch, I wouldn't want to know who was the worst player on the pitch. I'm just going to put it up there. But so that is objective opinion. Again, objective opinion is when you're looking things with an open mind. Open mind. This destructive criticism is basically saying, this thing can't play football. Why is he a footballer? He can't play football. He shouldn't even be at Manchester United. He can't even kick. He can't even kick rocks. He can't even bend a ball from behind. He can't even score and help Manchester United from behind. What's he good at? That's you. It's very destructive, bro. Now, some might say, well, I was just being honest. He's not. But still, the tonality of how you're saying it, the vibe and the standpoint from where you're saying it, indicates that you're being destructive. That's your destructive opinion. And lastly, is constructive opinion, which I believe, alongside with objective opinion, is the best because you have constructive opinion and constructive criticism. I was supposed to say criticism, but like I told you guys, my English is kind of subpar. Usually is at the end of the week. But constructive criticism is you basically saying, bro, we know you didn't play well today. You know you didn't play well today. But we'll go have it back, isn't it? Because we're Manchester United fans, isn't it? So we support you, you support us on the pitch. We know you go have bad days, hold on. Bad days, good days, average days, decent days. But either way, you can have one of those you're going to have one of those best days in the upcoming days, in the upcoming games. You're not a bad player, but you played bad today, isn't me? But we know that you're not a poor player. We know that you have takers to your game. We know that you can beat a few players on the top of the game. But today, bro, was not your game. So we want you to be better. That is basically being you're displaying, you're saying you're being constructive with your criticism. You want him to work on himself. That's why working site has construction site. You're working on yourself. So that is the four types of opinions slash criticisms, bro. And this is the thing, dude. This is the thing. Some of you Manchester United fans that is leaving criticisms in a racial way to Rashford, Pogba, Martial, because basically Pogba did get some criticism. Not in this context, but if you want to take things a few backwards, then you see that Pogba has been getting criticism pretty much since he started playing for Manchester United. But I'm specifically speaking on Martial and Rashford, our two strikers. Again, I don't know why you guys are going. So these are young players, bro. These are young players. Understand, and probably most of you guys living these racial abuse is young Manchester United fans. I would hope. I'll be very disappointed again, just to reiterate what I basically said some minutes ago. I'll be very disappointed if those fans, quote unquote, were like old heads. And even if they were old heads, they are old in the flesh, but their mentality is not old. They are young in their mentality and maturity. So I'll just say that. So if they're old, they're young in their mentality. They're young in their maturity. Because I don't want to disparage most millennial fans by saying they're racist or they don't know a thing or two about football. Is me? Because you have some, like, I'm a millennial fan. Is me? I'm a millennial, and but you won't see me living criticism in a racial, definitely not in a racial way. Now, have I been guilty of destructive? Of course, destructive criticism, constructive, yeah, uh, subjective. Most fans. I mean, if you're saying comments like this, if you're saying that Jadon Sancho is better than Leon Bailey, that is a subjective opinion. Because there is no factual evidence showing that he's better than Leon Bailey. Now, if I say that Lionel Messi is Barcelona's top scorer of all time, is that a subjective opinion or is that objective? No, it's an objective because it's a fact. It's a fact. But if you say Steph Curry is better than LeBron James, that is a subjective opinion. There is no factual evidence where you can prove, where you can say, well, Steph Curry has won this amount of rings in comparison to LeBron James. But on the base of basic factual evidence, that doesn't deem a player better than the other. Anderson has more Premier League medals than Steven Gerrard. I pretty much doubt you would say Anderson is better than Steven Gerrard in his prime. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say that. So there's no factual common ground or evidence or foundation where you can say, I would say Anderson is better than Stevie G because Stevie G has no Premier League titles. Now, if your basis of debate is saying who has the most Premier League titles, then that's where I can give the debate to Anderson. But what you need to understand is that Steven Gerrard is a bit no. This is just common sense. Steven Gerrard was a better player than Anderson. Period. In terms of longevity, durability, and ability. Period. Period. In a story. No debate. No question. So if you're if it depends on which a lot of football fans are subjective in their comments. Because people are saying if you say that Marcel is better than Haaland, then you're crazy. You're stupid. You don't know anything about football. That's a subjective statement to make. There's no factual evidence. So if you're saying who is the better dribbler, if you're saying who is the better finisher, if you're saying who is the better header of the ball, then that is a ball that we can tackle together with. But if you're saying that, Martial is better than Haaland because shoot, Martial can do this and that. Factual evidence, bro. Show proof. Don't show me no goals, cause goals is statistics. Kevin Phillips was a one of for one season in the Premier League. He was a very good striker. After then, he was non-existent. Kevin Phillips, where he went off to, I don't see him. So if you're based on goals, bro, then make the basis of your debate be based on goals. If you're talking about overall player, that is subjective. You cannot say Messi is better than Cristiano Ronaldo or Ronaldo is better than Messi. What is the basis of your debate? Now I'm going on a small tangent, but I know that. But I just want to state that so you guys can understand it. In what basis is Ronaldo better than Messi? In terms of long range shot, in terms of power prowess, in terms of physical ability, in terms of headering ability. What is the basis of your debate? That is what I'm trying to get at. Tony Martial doesn't deserve racial abuse. No player deserves racial abuse. No player. I could hate that player's guts till I go nuts. I'm not going to racially abuse a player. When you racially abuse that player, bro, your ego invested. Your ego I'm gonna tell you how. Let us say, okay, let us use Manchester United and Arsenal. We know that Manchester United and Arsenal are not the best, are not the way they once were back in the day. We know that for a fact. Hold on. We know that for a fact they're not the same club as they were back in the day. Now, Manchester United hasn't been the same club for like probably a decade. Arsenal probably 2 decades in the making. The point is, we are going to level criticism by saying, man, this club is useless. This club can't get any top players. We should sack the manager, man. These players are useless. These players should leave. You're ego invested, because my thing is this. If you were not ego invested, you would not be supporting the club. That's number one. You would be supporting the club. That's number one. Number two, you would even care enough to be levying constructive and subjective criticism is fine, but if you take it to a high level, bro, by saying these players are useless, get them out up here. I see. I don't want to get this long, bro, but that's just ego investment. If you don't like something that is happening at the club, then why are you supporting the club? Your ego investment. You have invested your emotions and feelings and money into the club to care. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't care about the club being better. But if you're stating comments like that, then bro, you're questionable. You're a suspect, isn't me? So my thing about Rashford and Martial is this. Because again, Martial don't care about you guys. Martial cares about his 2 babes. His Rocker My Baby and his other baby that he has side of him. He ain't go care about your feelings. He ain't go care about your comments in his comment section. I'm pretty sure he might if Marcel is bored, he'll just read the comments and say, babe, come here, so. Look on these comments. These niggas saying that I'm a monkey. I can't play football. And he's saying, man, those fans don't have a life, do they? And he said, nah, babe, they don't have no life whatsoever. They don't even have a plate of food serving on their dinner table. They don't even have that. But they're delivering criticism against you. So this is what I'm trying to say, bro, as I close this video podcast. Most of you fans, millennial fans, I'm not really, this is not against you. Again, if you feel offensive watching this video podcast, you're a hit dog. You're a hit dog, which means that you know deep down you're one of those fans that levied criticism, racial criticism, I should say, against Rashi and Martial. You know that. Because you wouldn't feel offended to begin with. That's why you have the term knowledge saying hit dog collar. So Martial wouldn't care about you, bro. He has his two babies to take care of and care for. Rashford on the other end, Rashford cares about kids, like he even said it in his tweet. He cares about different colors that he feels whatever his tweet says, I ain't go pull it up back. But he said he cares about different colors and children that support him. So if you thought that your comments was going to cement in his mind and lay pregnancy, make the mind of him being pregnant with negative thoughts of you giving him comments, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're wasting time. Because number one, you're a troll. And that goes if you're young or old. Again, I'm not saying most young United fans are those that are levying those racial abuse. I'm not going to use that. But what I'm saying is that if you're an old person in the flesh, but in the mind you have the maturity of a 2-year-old child, then this relates to you. If you have been racially abusing Rashford, if you've been racially abusing Martial, what does that say about your life? To be abusing two young guys that is probably at the same age as you, in some cases probably older than you, and in probably a few cases you are older than them. What does that say about you and your lifestyle? These niggas are making dollars per week. What are you making per week? $50 per week? So as I close this video podcast, bro, you guys need to check yourself at the door. Y'all need to check your temperature because they're getting too hot right now. I cannot believe United fans are, again, Igalo, again, I'm going to leave the video in my description. You guys should check it out. Of me talking about why Odion Igalo turned off his comments. Because, not to open a new can of worms, bro, but this is why you have to understand. Some players can take criticism and some players can't. I think the reason why Martial took down his post was because I wouldn't say he's like thin-skinned or is mentally fragile, but probably he just don't want the negativity near him because he has a positive wife that is the love of his life and he wants to live a positive and enduring, positive, energizing life. So he doesn't want none of that in his life. Rashford on the other end, he used to say, yo, I'm a black man and I'm going to say it that way. So if you thought your comments were going to, kill my confidence, your plan won't go as planned. Because despite the fact that I'm a black man, you're not going to get the best of me. You see me? Some players can take criticism, whether it's subjective all the way down to destructive. Some players will say, nah, bro. Some players would even block your accounts if they care to even do that. I think Harry Maguire did it a few times, but I don't think it was in the realms and rings of racial abuse, but I think Harry Maguire was probably doing an exercise and he showed the amount of calories that he burned during the exercise, and people were saying, nigga, that's not a lot of calories to be burning in an exercise. And he blocked those accounts as well. So this is the thing, bro. This is the thing as I commence the 50-minute hour. You guys need to get a life. I'm just keep it real. You guys need to get a life. Because if you're levying those criticism against those two young players, what does that say about you? What does that say about you? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty. I'm pretty sure you guys. I'm pretty sure Marcel doesn't know your wife. Rashford doesn't know your wife, if you have any at all. I'm pretty sure those guys don't know a significant other. Now I can see if you had hatred for them and they banged your girlfriend, they banged your sister, they banged your mother, they probably raped your grandmother. I could see why you would be living those racial abuse. Hold on. The abuse, but that's not a good excuse to use because they don't know you, bro. They don't know you like that. No, they might probably see your comments in their comment section, but they don't know you like that, bro. They don't. So, Manchester United could have done better against Arsenal. Is me. We could have gotten a goal. Rashford could have done better. He knows that. But players, young players go do what young players do, bro. Young players, with experience, Rashford is going to become better. Let us understand Rashford has at least 82 or 81 goals, if not 83 goals for Manchester United. Marcel has about 78 or 8 or 79 goals for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes was not at the top of his game in this game. The players were not as good as we expected. Again, Luke Shaw was my man of the match, and leave your comments down below on who is your man of the match, whether it's Luke Shaw or someone. Leave your comments down below. But Luke Shaw for me is my man of the match. David De Gea made crucial saves. The defense could have been better. I'll just say that. Oh, side note, Amadialo, I think he scored a brace in the under 23 game against Liverpool. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. This nigga is going to be a talent. Notice I said nigga. Because we black men, we don't mind other black men calling us nigga. But when we hear nigger, there's a difference between nigger and nigga. I'm a nigga. I'm a nigga. But if any white person were to say nigger, Nigger, that's where I'm gonna have issues with you. So if white guys say nigga to me, I might feel some way, but if it's like it's a nigga, like if it's a nigger, I should say, like I'm like nigga, please, I ain't gonna feel that. So anyway, after my long ass rambling, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Stay true to the curfew. Stay blessed and don't stress. Hey, you guys need to check out a therapist if you are racially abusing young players that is younger than you, at the same age as you, or even older than you. Pretty sure if those players were in your presence, no, mostly they wouldn't want to be in your presence. If you were in their presence, you wouldn't say anything about. You wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't say anything. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say anything. Whether you're young, old, or middle age or whatever. You wouldn't say anything to those players. So again, you guys need to check out yourself. Get a therapist if you need to. Check yourself. Get a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or a clergyman or something like that. Get yourself checked out. Get your life started on a positive note, bro. I'm out. Peace.